Gotta find a light source up in here. Or was it tooken already? Oh man. Oh man. Let's talk facts. Let's talk facts. Let's see, hopefully more people tune in. And I gotta make sure I watch my algorithm. I'm not on OBS right now. Um, I'm on I'm going straight off of YouTube again. I just came off a panel. Never doing that again. Just like CGA said. Yeah, let me get my point in real quick. Man, can't make this up. Can't make this up. Man. Somebody's got to be in there. See all messages. But yeah. But yeah, let's talk about it since it's the 2-minute mark. I do have a belief, especially to the conservatives. You might not think your favorite female conservative pundit isn't a feminist, but they all are. Let me explain why. What you have here, unfortunately, is an ideology where, praxeology, whatever you want to say, there is a certain belief that basically I'm a lion and hear me roar type situation, you know. When you talk about, say, the average, people just look at the average feminist as a girl with blue hair, green hair, purple hair, saying rhetoric about the patriarchy, power dynamics, shit like stuff that doesn't even make sense. When you're dealing with something like that, you're dealing with delusion. Now, your favorite conservative female pundit believes in those same things. If you put her to a lie detector test, she believes in those same things too. Even Candace Owens, who I actually like personally, but she literally said herself she considers herself a good feminist. A feminist is a feminist. Either way, so I mean, hey, it is what it is. Ooh, I can control the filter on here. Oh no, that's just the thumbnail filter I can do. Let's see this one. Oh, oh. Yeah, this is my first time doing the iPhone live. Oh, okay. I like the filters on here. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. I like this one, black and white. Let's keep it no filter. Anyway, but yeah, I want to hear what you think about that. Somebody had asked me to cover this, but like I said, if you're seeing, I always say this about feminism and women in general. Ladies are always going to do whatever it takes to survive. So right now, when you talk about first world Western countries, they're very high on that feminism. because they can afford to do that right now. You know, people like to say a modern woman this, modern woman that, but anytime there has been an opportunity where there's been peace, this is when, after everything's been built up, that's when they gonna come out their shell and reveal who they are. We talk about Eliza Blue, who is literally a known thought, industry thought. She knew who to get up under. She chose Tim Pool, a simp, and she basically redid her own image, her whole image, and acted like she's one of the good ones. You know, a lot of them, they always do that around that 27, 28-year-old range when it's time to cash in those chips, and that's usually how that works. And like I said, every and the title's a bit facetious, but I always believe most, when you talk about most West ladies, most Western women are feminists. Even most men are feminists. They don't even know it. Even your favorite conservative pundits, when it comes down to it, they're afraid to call hoes out to themselves. They are scared to death about that. It's it's quite shocking actually. Even your favorite one, Ben Shapiro, he's a feminist. You might not think so, but he is. Tim Pool's a feminist. Jordan Peterson, he's a feminist. Who else? Who else am I missing? I'm trying to think. Who else we got? I'm trying to think of people's favorite conservatives. Kevin Samuels, if you look at his actions, technically he's a feminist. If you look at what he did, he brought on so many women into the manosphere space that have no business being in the manosphere space. And we already knew their intention, especially Melanie King. She comes off across to me as somebody super fake. And it's no surprise that she's in the controversy that she's in right now. Something I expected from her. You know, I'm not gonna go into her personal life, what she's been through, because now it makes perfect sense. She's a lush, if you know what I'm saying. She's a lush. Anyway. Anyway, tell me what you guys think about that. You know, it's a tough topic to broach because, like, especially there's a lot of they don't even know that they're feminists. They don't know. Unfortunately, especially when it comes to feminism, it's like I said, I just came off a panel with like a lot of black women and a lot of and it was like two black male simps in there that was trying not to ruffle feathers. I feel so bad for black men. They just have to be Democrats because here's what white conservatives don't understand. Like, the only reason why you see black men that can't come out openly as conservative is because it's literally gonna cut off all the access to any black woman that they want to date. I feel so bad. And it's happening to white people now. It's happening to white men. They be on Tinder, they be like, they say swipe left, swipe right. If you voted for Trump or something like that, swipe left, I guess I forgot which one. I don't do dating apps. But it's like, but I remember being all those profiles usually say the same thing, you know. like I said, the feminists will come out of most people. All I gotta do is bring up R. Kelly. Like, these people were trying to bring out, like, I bring up R. Kelly as a point of the way things work. He's probably going to be freed because it was a flimsy case. What they're trying to do is they're trying to keep him inside so they can get his masters. But if that doesn't work, what's going to eventually happen is he's either going to give up and give the masters, or eventually the system will play itself out and he'll be let out freer than people think, even though at the cost of a lot of years off his life. But, you know, once that happens, because they're going to bring those girls on the stage, because people keep thinking that he's getting tried off of some 13-year-old allegedly that everybody watched a sex tape for, which I didn't. I didn't watch a sex tape for it, but apparently I'm the bad guy. You know, um, they all saw it. I didn't see it. I don't watch stuff like that. I bring up R. Kelly, and then Mel Sims in that group call I did started shuffling. Act like I don't know what this Mel Sims said that Kobe Bryant was actually guilty for what he did. Hey, yo, man, I feel bad for black men. I feel bad because he has to think that way. Because there's no way, like, you're dealing with people that, like, these are the type of people that are gonna fall for that 40-year mortgage thing. Like, man, I used to make fun of Pastor David Manning and those guys, Jesse Lee Peterson, to a lesser extent, but mostly Pastor David Manning because I found him funny. But the more I listen to these people, I just feel so bad. They've been so indoctrinated. Like, when I see like a black woman claiming like feminism, I just be like, oh my God, that shit was not meant for you. It's like a black man claiming the Klan, like Klansmanship. It makes no sense to me. It's like it, like feminism was meant for white women. Like, I'm talking about white women in positions of privilege and power. And I'm like, it's a black woman feminist saying that I am part of the patriarchy. You know how silly that sounds. Even if the average white man is not part of the damn patriarchy, that's not how it works. Besides, you like people in the patriarchy; they make all the money. Those are the people that get the most hoes. But we're the problem. This is where like the logic doesn't make sense. Like, I went on a panel defending, basically saying Hovey Penna's lying, and this turned into a conversation about protecting black women. I'm like, last time I checked, is Hovey Penna black? Does she even claim black? Or maybe she's one of those Dominicans. I know black, papi. I know black. You know, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I'm surprised nobody joined. I'm still waiting for Lorette. I don't know if she, man. Let me mute this real quick. But yeah, it's over for us. It's over for us. I was like just dropping the logic behind it. And even with Jiggy dropping his tape, that's the only way he could have exonerated himself in his eyes. And they're talking about consent on video recording and video this. I'm like, he didn't consent for his name to be dragged like that. So he said, "Oh, I did. Well, you talking about consent? Well, watch this. I'm gonna drop this tape on you." I can't believe he opened up the video saying that. He said, "Here I am in the back shots position." And for her and for Jovi to say, I stopped pursuing this case because she said she knew about the video already. Red flag. And then number two, she goes, "I was trying to let you off the hook." Hey yo. And then after all of that, she goes, "Why don't you release the audio? It's gonna be a me crying." And I'm like, "Oh, don't." I'm like, "Jovi, you got parents, man. They don't want to hear the audio of that." But the thing is, you can't talk to most normies about this conversation, especially black men. You can't talk to black men about this. They're gonna start shuffling. Like these simp ass niggas, man, they be killing me, man. These dudes be huge too. They be big niggas too. And you start talking about this and they start shuffling. Like you can't make this stuff up. Man, like black men are the biggest simps. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. What happened to us? These are not the niggas I grew up with. These people are soft. Soft. Hold up. Is somebody in the chat? I see somebody in here. Because I talked about the feminism already, but I can repeat it. I don't mind repeating it. But basically in my stream, I talk about even your favorite female conservative pundit, they're feminists. Trust me. I mean, just in the fact, because I think most women shouldn't be able to vote. Oh, she left. Oh man. After I said that, I didn't even get a chance to explain myself. Okay, here's what I mean. I believe most people shouldn't be able to vote, in my opinion. Like that panel of ladies that I was with, I should have asked them, what do you think about Donald Trump and Joe Biden? And when you even say that, World War III be breaking out. I don't understand how you can get triggered over somebody wearing a red hat. I don't understand. I don't understand how you can get so triggered over a hat. Somebody wearing a hat. But I'll say this in a converse. I have seen white people wear the hat, and then they just be expecting something out of me, and I'll just be like, "Have a good day," and then they'll just be like, "Nigga, it's just a hat. Nigga, it's just a hat." They acting like it's a Klan's hoodie or some shit. And even then, if I see that, I'm just gonna run away. I live in Get Out neighborhood, nigga. If they put man, if they had the purge, I'd be fucked. That's where I live at, man. Ah, man, there was somebody in the chat. I hope they didn't leave after I said the voting thing. I think I gotta rectify that statement in terms of the women voting. I'm just gonna say I believe most people shouldn't vote because I do believe that. I believe most people are not knowledgeable when it comes to politics or the system, or they'll too much orange man is bad. Like, I don't understand how you can say Orange Man is a racist and then vote in a confirmed racist. and Sleepy Joe. I don't like Sleepy Joe is a confirmed racist. But you're trying to tell me you're trying to tell me Orange Man is bad, but Sleepy Joe is a confirmed racist. So who wins here? This is why, like, like I said, you can bring out the feminists out of anybody, man or woman. Oh, they keep tuning in and out. Here. Oh, Lorette. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. So I was talking about basically, it's not even about all women being feminists, really. Most people are feminists. So Lorette, it's not even just women. Most people are feminists. They don't even know it. Even your favorite conservative pundits. I just got off of a panel, 4 black women, 2 black men. I start talking about the difficult discussions that people don't want to talk about. We talk about the Jovi case with Kai Cenat. We talk about R. Kelly. We talk about Bill Cosby. All these, dude. The male simps, man. I feel so like I said, it spreads, right? The only reason why you see black men as Democrats, they're not open conservatives, is because they're afraid that black women are gonna cut them off. This is why you don't see open black conservatives, open black atheists, open black punk metal. Even though we do have people like that, but they're afraid to express how they really feel. And this is why we don't have. It's really a shame, and it's spreading, right? So now it's a lot of white men are being affected by that too. Now, white women are saying the same thing now. Oh, swipe left if you voted for, you know who, Orange Man, stuff like that. But I don't understand why the women in sports should comply and let me in. Let me see that chat again. But I don't understand why the women in sports should comply and let me in. You mean like, do you believe like, oh, let's talk about that. Let men in. Oh, okay. Hey, let me just tell you my opinion on that. There's a lot of conservative simps that are sticking up for this Riley Gaines character. This is where I could say all women are feminists, including her. Because I bet you when they were talking about women needing more equal pay in the sports thing, I bet you she was right in front of the line. Yeah, we need equal pay and all this stuff. I bet you, trust me. And only now it's full equality. This is equality now. Equality's here now. Oh, yep. You see? But you see, now that equality's really here now, she realized she can't compete with Mr. Thomas. She realized people don't even realize how male sports work. Even if you're better, Leah Thomas is now the poster boy. And if you tie to the poster boy still gets all the pictures. This even happens in men's sports. This is what women don't even know. This is why I actually like women's sports, because there's not really, even if you're a poster girl, the poster girl is somebody pretty. So they already know, oh, she's just there because she's pretty. The best player in the sports is, let me see what you wrote. Men in her sports don't make it equal. Exactly. Well, look, this is equality. Don't be a hey, I bet you she was a feminist before that. I bet you she was a feminist before Leah Thomas, Mr. Thomas, started dominating. And Mr. Thomas is now the poster boy for your sport. So I say, hey, you better beat him. To beat the man, you gotta beat you to be the man, you gotta beat the man. That's what men have to deal with. This is why men get paid the big bucks. And on top of that, Like I said, these ladies are not conservatives. Trust me. I've been to high school with a lot of these people. Nope, she can't beat him. She can't beat him. She tied to him, which is impressive, but can't beat him. And what people don't understand, even in male sports, you got football, right? American football. They make the quarterback the poster boy. There's a lot of black players that make the poster boy look good, but the poster boy still gets all the sponsorships. People think it's just like like women's sports, they don't even realize how good they had it. They don't even realize it. Tom Brady. Tom Brady's not the GOAT. He's not the GOAT. It's black men literally put look, Tom Brady's not the GOAT. But you know what's crazy? Yo, what's crazy is most men give him more respect and more than his than Tom Brady's feminist wife. I bet you Tom Brady's feminist wife looks at him like he ain't shit. Because technically, he's not the GOAT, in my opinion. He's not the GOAT. Exactly. That's why I don't even think black men should be even playing American football. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. What women's sports don't understand is we got to deal with these people too. There are so many. Do you know how many coaches' sons that made it over some talented athletes or became the quarterbacks because they're the coach's son or they knew this? They act like the act like but the problem with feminists, which is most women, they look at the top. All of them. All of them. The whole body positivity movement. The whole body positivity movement. It's fugazi. It's fugazi. Let me show you something. People act like obese women don't get married. Oh yeah, nepotism is rampant, especially in. I'm a soccer player. Rampant. This is why I actually liked women's soccer. I still do. I like watching it from. I don't watch it like heavily, but and I'm definitely gonna be watching the Women's World Cup because Haiti made it. So I'm gonna be rooting my sisters on, right? But male soccer in the United States, nepotism off the charts, off the charts, off the charts, especially in American sports, off the charts, nepotism, and you got and the women are talking about equal pay. Like they don't understand what comes with this. They do not understand what comes with this. You know what I mean? Most of them. I'm not gonna say all, but most of them, they don't even understand what comes with this. Riley Gaines, what she needs to understand, to beat the man, you gotta beat you to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Leah Thomas is now the face of your sport. Welcome to equality. That's how sports usually works. But this is why they had it separate. They had women's sports, they had men's sports. And what's beautiful about female sports is, I thought is, even though, even though you could be the prettiest, it's so easy to tell, oh, she's just a poster girl. And they don't just give the award to the poster girl in female sports, which I love. They give it to the people that actually dominate most times. But like I said, they're just too worried about what's up top. Most ladies are too worried about the top percentage men. Same with the body positivity movement. Plenty of women overweight had partners, but they're concerned about the rich people not looking at them as viable partners. Hence the body positivity movement. It's not for people like us, not for the regular guys that's 5'9", 5'8", 5'7", that will take them as who they are. They're not looking at us. Or they're not, or the plus size models, there's plenty of black men that will that will lift her up in the air. They're not looking for that. They're looking for the top percentage men to deem them as viable partners. Feminism. That's why I say all women are feminists, because they'll say, "Oh, but Lizzo paid for her boyfriend." Yeah, and I bet you he's not fat. I bet you he's not fat. Lizzo, classic feminist, and the feminists and the and these feminists nowadays they confuse me. Like I'm talking about the feminists will start. Yep, yeah. I didn't even have to look him up. I know he's not fat. That's that's a given. I already know that. There's no way. Body positivity movement's got to be probably one of the biggest shams in the history. In the history, man. Like when I say all women are feminists, I kind of mean that because no matter, especially today, they believe that they are entitled, but he's paid for. Doesn't matter. And watch this. I'm pretty sure if you approached her about that, she'll make an excuse. Like most men pay for their women, right? They'll pay for their girlfriends, and then the girls will call that tricking and all that. But I bet you they're gonna come up with another term. Like they have this new term now for women that want open relationships called non-ethical monogamy, whatever. I mean ethical monogamy. And then when men wanted that, they were considered dogs. And now when the women want to do the same thing, now it's called ethical feminism. And when we talk about when most hoes do dirt, there's always a lot of defense from the women from that because most women are playing that same exact type of mental games. So it's harder for, say, a woman to hold another woman accountable. So I don't. That's why people talking about women and accountability. I'm way past that. I already know that's not going to happen. But the reason why it's a big problem is because if a woman calls out another woman for being manipulative, she's going to have to hold that to herself too. Exactly. Exactly. Trust, like, I know I can be a little bit all over the place, but trust me, it makes sense. Hold on for 1 sec. But yeah, it makes sense. Trust me, man. It makes perfect sense. Monique, the comic, is a mess with her matrimonial etiquette. Yeah, with her, she's an interesting case. She's an interesting case. Yeah, she's an interesting case. I mean, her, it seems like she only like wants support is when she's looking for more money, you know, which I have no problem with, but it's like, it seems like you only come around for your people to make up stir when you're being shortchanged your money. Oh yeah, Monique, she's a feminist. Oh, I was also gonna bring up another person. What's her name? Candace Owens, who the conservatives like to lift up as this conservative female pundit. She's a feminist. She literally said it herself. She said she's one of the good ones. I'm like, oh, so you're one of them. You're the good witch. Fugazi, Fooey. I got that from one of the Hallmark movies I used to watch back in the day. Fooey. But yeah, Monique, I ain't worried about her to be honest, but she is what she is. And also, like it's here's how like This is how disconnected I am from the mainstream. The mainstream is feminist. A lot of the terms that you hear, power dynamics, cons- I was gonna say consent, but that's a joke. That's a joke on my end. Because like I said, I was just on a panel with four girls, four black women, two black men, I'm assuming. And I was so disappointed in those brothers, man. These guys are simps, bro. Oh yeah, so well, Candace Owens, I know about that situation. So Candace Owens is a messy girl. Steven Crowder, we all knew that was gonna happen. When you're talking about, I'm sorry, when it comes to marriage, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when on most ends. You can't go how they measure the divorce rate in America is flawed. What they do is they measure it by how many married in that year, and they measure how many divorced in that year, and they kind of like divide it from there. Like that's not how you. If you measure it by lifetime, it's like 70% of chances of being divorced, and then on top of that, you put that 80% of divorces are initiated by women. So put two and two together. That's why they don't put the real divorce rate out there, because most people be like, even now, like nobody's getting married anymore. So it is what it is on that end. But now Steven Crowder, they're trying to say that he's abusive now. I saw that video. Yeah, that they're just here's the thing. When I come to defense of these people, people act like I'm fans of them. I'm like, I'm not fans of people. I'm not a fan of, say, per se, Kobe Bryant. I'm not a Kobe Bryant fan, but I know what he did in Denver. That wasn't he's not a, I can't say the word, but he's not a person that takes advantage of women. He's not that. I already know what happened with that case. He didn't pay that girl no money afterwards. That's what that was. So, like me coming to the defense of Steven Crowder, it's not like I'm a fan of the guy. I'm looking at the video. I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, oh, he's just, and on top of that, she knows the camera's right there. Steven Crowder's wife, she knows the camera's right there. She knows that. And then this is the time to put on that. And on top of that, what a lot of men underestimate is the amount of evidence that most girls that you deal with have against you in case shit goes wrong. And it's not an evil thing, in my opinion. It's a self-defense mechanism. They have to do that. You can't expect them not to do that, in my opinion. You got to have you have to have your bases covered. You got to know that's coming up. You got to know that's going to happen, you know. Oh, speaking of which, when we talk about all women are feminists, I will say this here, and I'm sorry, I hope hopefully the black men in my life that I know are not offended when I say this, but damn near all black men are feminists. And if they aren't, like, I should really change the title. I really should change it, because I said all women are feminists. I will say all black men are feminists. They don't even know it. These dudes are like, I just came off this panel. Like these guys act like, when I bring up the subject about Jovi Penna, and the reason why I joined that panel is because the majority of that comment section was actually women that were defending Jiggy and condemning Jovi. And there was the girl, her name is Sierra. She was still saying that Jovi was a victim. And the girls were roasting her. So I click on Sierra's profile and say more about your talk tonight and the takeaway. Yeah, like Oh, on the panel or on this? On the panel? What I was saying on the panel, or just this in general? Because like I said, even the conservative pundits are feminists. But I'll talk about the panel. The panel, I brought up Jovi from Kai. From Kai. I don't know if you're interested in that, but like I said, even black men, biggest feminists. Like, what black? How many black men you know can say out loud, "I am a conservative," or "I am an atheist," or I'm a Republican." They can't say that. Now they don't know what's crazy is you might hear like white men say that are pandering. They'll say, "I'm a male feminist as well." But if you ask a black man, they'll be like, "Oh, the panel." Okay, so the panel, these, like I said, we have no future. Our race. I'm sorry to say, we're done. There's nothing to save. It's sad, but there's nothing to save. These people, they've lost it. They've lost it. And we were talking about Jovi Pena. Jiggy dropped the sex tape, basically clearing him, and they were still trying to say that they were trying to make so much excuses. She got caught lying. She said she was asleep. She said she was not wasted. She said she was asleep. We see the video. She was not asleep. Not any. It's just she. I cannot believe they saw that video and we're still going to. I'm like, these people are on head medication. Like, do not underestimate the amount of head medication Gen Z millennials are taking. These guys, they're in loony land. These people take too much drugs. They drink too much. They cannot see straight. These people, they do too much drugs. And mind you, I thought these girls that I was in the panel with, I thought they were like 20. I thought they were in college. Nope. They were 30 years. It was like over 30 years old. Now, mind you, they look good for their age. I didn't wish any harm on them. But basically, when I was explaining my opinion, they were trying to act like I was a predator. They asked me a question at the end where I'm not even gonna say what the male simps were saying because these niggas be disappointing me. Anyway, if I start talking about these male simps, I'm gonna lose my mind. Anyway, they asked me about R. Kelly and say, "Do you think he's a predator?" And me, honestly, this is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. Any girl in my life that I care about, I don't want them hanging out with rock stars. I know what they do. I don't want them hanging out with athletes. I don't want them hanging out with these people. But if I tell the average girl, do not hang out with the biggest R&B star, what are they gonna? I'm gonna sound like a hater. Or this is what they're gonna do. I will say this. Hey, say if I knew Kai, right? Kai Cenat, yeah, they was calling me predator for a great. I'm like, I don't know what these people do. And on top of that, when you're talking about these rock stars, when they're making these songs, they're not talking about 30-year-old women. They're talking about teenagers. But we still lift them up like this. I don't. All I can tell the person is this. These people are weirdos. R. Kelly's a weirdo. Whether it's a predator or not, I think there was a time in his life, especially back then, I think he was on the predator game. But what can I do about that? What can I do about that? I can't stop him from getting hoes. The hoes are coming to him. What can I do? What can I do? If I We talk about grape culture, right? In college. This is why I can't help. I tell dudes don't even help him because okay, like if I'm telling you Stay away from these people. But they have all this clout. This was gonna happen. I tell you, stay away from Kai. I don't know. I don't want you around this dude. You only met him that one day. You know what the girl's gonna be like? Okay, fine. You just this one. It's thank you, thank you. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna look like a hater. Look, let me tell you my physical stats. I'm 5'7", 150 pounds. I'm telling you, stay away from that 6'8" NBA player that makes millions of dollars. Even though if I know he's a predator, they're gonna. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna be like, oh, okay, maybe he's a predator. Say if they don't look at me as a hater, this is what they're gonna do. Okay, maybe he's a predator, but maybe his friends aren't. Can't save him. Can't do nothing about it. That's how they. That's how girls work. That's how they work. That's how they work. Hey yo, let me put this on the stand before I lose my mind, because I'm about to lose my damn mind over this comment. They'd be like, "Is R. Kelly a predator?" It's not for me to say. The hoes are coming to him. You see the evidence now. The moms are literally setting out their daughters to the game. What? How am I supposed to stop that? How in the hell am I, me, regular Joe Schmo, 5'7", 150? Oh yeah, and I mentioned my height and my I did that on purpose on the panel because I wanted them to disparage me and then at the same time ask me to stop the predators. I wanted them to do that. I was like, let me put my height and my weight in there. See how they react to it. They was on that bull. They started making fun of me saying, "Oh, you you think you one of the short kings." And then right after roasting me, saying they want me to stop the predators, I got to hold these men accountable. Bruh. These people, they're loony. They're loony. You can't save these people. Rape culture does not exist. If you go on college campus, most of the people that are guilty or get accused the most of rape are who? The athletes and the frat boys. Now, who do the girls want to hang out with the most? The frat boys and the athletes. Can't save them. The moms wanted to cash out. Exactly. How am I supposed to stop that? How, as a man, is supposed to stop? I I be telling people don't be sending your kids to the preachers. Don't even be sending. I be saying don't send your kids to Catholic priests, to the teachers. They are there's predators everywhere. In teachers' position, I've been telling people for years, teachers are thoughts. People don't want to listen to me. And now you saw that kid. There's dudes now having to pay child support because they got their teacher pregnant. But I was considered a hater. Oh, you just don't get along with teachers. There's a reason why I don't get along with these people. This is why when I say grape culture is a myth, I mean that. It's a myth. If I'm telling you, if I'm telling you, you look at the statistics, it's mostly the athletes and the frat boys and the people of status that get accused of these heinous crimes. But who do the girls want to hang out with? Those people. They're not breaking their neck to hang out with people in the chess club or the of the honor society. They're not trying to do that. They might try to do that senior year, but they're not trying to party with them on a regular. Yeah, like he literally dropped the tape and I literally told those girls, Jake Blacks, shout out to you, boy. Shout out to you, man. I'm talking about all women are feminists. They are. Even your most, even the most conservative female predators, man. I mean, not predators, are feminists. All right. But yeah, let me get back. I forgot what I was saying, but like I said, you go to college, who are the people getting accused the most? The athletes and the frat boys, but that's who they want to party with the most. If I tell them stay away, stay away from the 6'8" NFL draft prospect. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. I don't think I'm there. I'm getting close. I'm getting that close to being cold blooded because I was just on the Twitter panel with four black women and two black male simps. Look, man, there's no saving us. We're like Pastor David Manning. I used to make fun of him, and I find him funny, but I get it. I get it now. I get it. I get why he thinks the way that he does it. We're done. We're done. Anyway, I tell you, stay away from that 6'8" NBA prospect. He's gonna go number one. But I heard that yo, remember the Different World episode? The Different World episode? Yo, it's a black show from the 80s and 90s. And I think he was trying to what's that girl's name? It was a regular dude that was a male friend of the girls. He was trying to say, hey, don't hang out with that baseball player. He be taking advantage of she didn't listen. She still went at night with the baseball player alone. I mean, what can you do? What can you do? The law. Wait, well, hold up. I saw something crazy. What'd you say? Something I tripped on was watching Law and Order SUV over and over again. Recently, some report came up claiming Law and Order SUVs trauma. Yeah, they finna they'll sue people over anything now. Hey, the economy is about to go crazy right now. Times are tough. Rent is due. Rent is due. But like, yeah, you know what? I'm about to be cold blooded right now. I was tempted because I was using my Twitter account, but to go on the panel with those with the four black ladies, it was multiple ladies kind of shuffling in and out, saying all this feminist rhetoric that I already heard in college from these communist professors. Like, let me stop using words like that before I get my YouTube shut down. That happened the other day. Let me not do that. It's like I said, all women are feminists, all of them. Jake, if you're still in the chat, I was talking with Lorette about Riley Gaines and how all these conservative simps are now trying to rush to her defense, like she's like some freedom fighter. I said the same thing about Tommy Lauren. I just be watching Addicted to Victimization, typical outcomes, never never consider the addiction part. Oh, you know what's crazy? Let me bring up something. Actually, no. No, I'm gonna get my YouTube stream taken down. No, I'm not gonna bring that up. I was gonna bring up a show that Coach Greg Adams did last year, which was very powerful. But I'm gonna get my thing. I'm gonna get my thing taken down if I bring it up. I'm gonna get it taken down, so I'm not even gonna bring that up. But yeah, I'm Riley Gaines. She's not no. I dropped a video last month, and it was about Terry Miller, the male track runner that's running with the females, right? And there was a conservative, so-called conservative woman in the comment section making fun of the man, right? Just because you run feminine. And I said, well, the feminists, you guys brought it upon yourself. And the responses that she gave me, it was like I was talking to a lady with blue hair. No different, saying that we are the problem. And I'm like, you guys created this mess. You guys got to fix it. This is equality. And the responses that she gave back, it was so bad that she ended up deleting the responses, like a typical feminist. But she has in her bio, oh, Christian, and with the Bible verse, and conservative, I love God. Oh, nonsense. Most Jake Black, I don't care, liberal, Republican, all feminists, even men, even men, even men. Just all you got to do is bring up R. Kelly. Just bring up R. Kelly, and these guys, we all know what that situation is. I don't know what ethnicity you are, Jake, but where I grew up in high school, there used to be hoes 14, 15, 16, being picked up by grown niggas in cars. And they used to, the woman used to brag to us how they were getting treatment, all this money while they're messing with this dude. They think they're finessing the older dude while the older dude's literally finessing them for nothing more than pennies, right? They would brag to us how they live in this life. And then now they're gonna turn around once they hit 30, talking about R. Kelly's a predator. No, you guys be these are the same women. Why are you talking to younger women? I don't do that. But ask those same women, what were you doing at 15 years old? What were you doing at 14? I'm talking to this lady right now on my Instagram, talking all that good shit, acting like she thinks she finessing the dude. She don't realize she being finessed. I'm gonna do an interview with her next year because she just turned 18. I'm gonna do an interview with her, and you're gonna be shocked because her story is so common. I don't want to put her IG out there. I want to do an interview with her so bad, and I'm gonna blur out her her face because I was the only one in the comment section that already knew what she was talking about. She was talking all that good shit, and then she was just like, "I'm like, your profile says blah blah blah," and she's like, "Nah, I know what I'm doing. I just can't show my baby daddy because of legal reasons." I'm like, "Legal reasons? What is he, a criminal or something?" I said either he's a criminal, which is stupid, or number two, you're dating a your baby daddy is like what 30 years old and you're like 15 at the time. And she was like, ding, 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 ding. I was like, wow. And then I asked her, are you sure you know what you're doing? Which I always asked them when I was in high school. Plenty of girls like that. What people don't understand is a lot of those girls, they lose their virginity like really young, like in 13, 12, 14. I always keep hearing 14. But it's usually when you hear a girl talking about virginity 13, that's because the guy usually is minimum 4 years older than her. And when you're talking about those high school girls, when you're talking about 16 years olds, 15 years olds, dating drug dealers twice their age, they will come back to high school with a little bit of money, acting like they flexing. She don't know. She doesn't know it. And it's like I can see it. And I'm like, oh yeah, and I bet you have an open relationship, right? You can just do whatever you want, right? Of course, because he's not really claiming you for claiming you. He's looking, he's he's trying to escape, but he's gonna have you around for now. And then you're gonna claim that you're a victim 5 years from now. And what's crazy is when you talk to the women that say that think this is okay, that's because when they were 16 and their baby daddy was 30, they ended up getting married. So in her, so you won. Of course you don't see nothing wrong with it. But she's not gonna get away. She's clearly being finessed. Once he dips, because he's gonna do that, there's a reason why you're allowed to have an open relationship because he's not, you're not the only one. And number two, he's looking for his escape plan. You're not gonna see. I didn't say any of this. I just let her talk. That's how I get this information that I get. I just let people talk. And once you let, they'll watch my YouTube or my Instagram and they think I'm just gonna be talking down on people. And I just literally just ask two questions. And they, she gave me everything I needed to know. I was like, oh, like I've heard this stuff before. She thinks she's special. She thinks she's, whatever. And hey, maybe she'll be special soon because I'm gonna do an interview with her. And you're gonna be surprised what age she started fucking with grown men. I'm gonna just leave it at that. And like I said, men are afraid to ask these questions because they're gonna looked as creepy, whatever. I don't care about that. Um, like I really don't care because especially people are afraid of this incel tag. Dude, they called Andrew Tate an incel just because he said he spoke his mind. Dude, 6'4", kickboxing champion of the world, multimillionaire, and they called him an incel. Can't make this up. Yeah, the look, it's really the simps that get me tight. These dudes, I was on the panel. These dudes try to they scared. Black men are scared. Black men are scared. They're just scared. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say they're scared. And these dudes be like 6'2", 6'3". They afraid to tell a girl, hey, stop that. They're like, it's crazy. I don't get it. But like I said, these were the same. Also, I bet you do like the females that I was debating on this, they were calling me predator and whatnot, and I'm just telling you objective facts. I bet you these were the same people. Yeah, I bet you these were the same people that were. Remember, it was a whole bunch of black women defending Will Smith for slapping Chris Rock on stage. Bruh, we're done. We're done, man. Tiffany Haddish saying that's black love. I'm like, oh my god, we're done. We're done. We're done. I love my people though with all of my heart, and I'm not afraid to live around my people either. But it's like, and what's crazy is, yeah, but most black men are simps. Even people I know, even the people I love. You know how Mia Khalifa. I'm sorry to put somebody I know on blast on this. You know how Mia Khalifa's been running with that lie about her getting taken advantage of and not getting paid. Do you know what happened? I was on a podcast with a dude I know. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I heard that Mia Khalifa was getting finesse." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then when I told him the facts of, she's just been lying about that. Like Bang Bros brought up her receipt. She's been getting paid. The male fear factor, like I realize, yeah. You can't talk. Men in America, we're taught to lie, and what men have stooped to such lows to get pussy that they'll just say anything. They could be looking at a woman that is 600 pounds and just be like, "You look beautiful," just to hit, especially black men, and then they'll be like, th- it's sad. It's sad only because me, I pride myself. I'm not a person that I don't talk about this stuff with the girls I deal with, right? I don't. And anytime a woman will just even bring up politics, I'll be like, let's not talk about it. And usually the situation will shut itself down. Now, the unfortunate part is I have, when I was at a job I was working at a while back, I brought up the Orange Man one time and damn near World War III broke out. I will never do that again. I don't understand how one person can trigger you that much. I don't get it. Me per I don't understand how black people can get so triggered over somebody wearing a certain red hat. I don't get it. And the men like men are and you're starting to see it now from white conservative men. They're feminists as well. Ben Shapiro's a feminist. This Tim Pool character that people act like he's so edgy and whatnot. He's a feminist. When Fresh and Fit was on his show, and you can think what you want about Fresh and Fit, whether they're frauds or not. Bottom line is they're part of the manosphere and they have their views. And to them, Fresh and Fit are so extreme for them. And Fresh and Fit is not extreme for me. They're actually, to me, they're pretty mainstream in my opinion. But their views are just so extreme to Tim Pool. Like they're like, every time Myron says something, they're just like, anytime Myron says something, they're literally like, by the way, Fresh is my twin. Fresh Prince is literally my twin. I'm like the evil twin. I'm Fresh's evil twin. But he's from Barbados. I'm Haitian descent. Oh yeah, there was Haitian men in that panel I was in. What has become of us? What has become of us? The Haitian men I grew up around were not simps like this. Maybe it's a bad comparison because I'm talking about Haitian men that were born in 1960 something, 1950s. Yeah, I don't know if they still have that episode up, but people were acting like Fresh and Fit are this. I consider them pretty mainstream, in my opinion. Yeah, they were on Tim Pool. Alba and Preach are blue pill as fuck. Oh yeah, oh yeah, they're grifters. They're from Miami. They grift heavy. Especially anybody that's part of that PUA, the pickup artist community, grift. One of the biggest, to me, they're a black guy on the red pill, in my opinion. Maybe not as much as the incels are, but I think PUAs make incels, in my opinion. That's a whole nother debate for that's a whole nother debate for another day. I think the PUAs make the incels, in my opinion. You know, maybe I'm a bit biased, but I always give credit to MGTOW for putting their necks on the line first. Cause me, I'm not MGTOW. I'm not monk mode. I don't have the discipline for that. Um, like I when I first saw MGTOW, it's like when I first saw it. It's crazy. It's like I had the same, I always had that same opinion. I used to be like, well, there's really nothing that can stop that male urge for being with a woman. But the older I get, it's like it's like I can't explain it. It's like I really get what they're coming from now, and it's like, and what you find out about those MGTOW people is that that even some of the MGTOWs, they still mess with women. They just don't have no red pill equals ultra simps, in my opinion. Well, when I think about red pill, I don't think about just women. I'm thinking about I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about um religion. Oh yeah, in 2023, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the red pill is done. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what you're saying, Jake. I know exactly what you're saying. The red pill is done. It's been infiltrated. It's not the same. It is not the same. You that's I didn't know where you were going with that. I know what you're saying. It's purple pill now. It's not red pill anymore. It's purple pill. This space. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. I like the contribution that he made, but he has brought in way too many simps into this community. When I was in, I found the red pill community when I was in college, first year, like the first month in college, 2016, and I started listening to one of the first people I started listening to. Yeah, it's purple pill. Corey Holcomb. He's not a red pill guy, obviously. He's just a comedian, but he brought me there. He brought me to the red pill because once you start searching comedians' names, the algorithm, that's when I started finding Hammerhand, Sandman, like those guys like that. And I was like, Then I saw O'Shea Duke Jackson. He's part of the Black Manosphere, even though I wouldn't he's purple pill. But Coach Greg Adams around 2017 or 2018. Um, Tom Likas, yeah, Tom Likas was very, very instrumental. Very instrumental. I was like, wow, this guy's a savage. So yeah, Tom Likas, guys like that. There's a lot of names I'm missing. Um, there was Undead. I never really started watching Undead until last year. I'm talking about his full Undead Chronic. I mean his full streams from front to end. You know, but yeah, the red pill in 2023. It's might as well throw it away. Throw it away. You might as well just throw it away. There's nothing to it anymore. It's too much purple pillars, too much hope strategists, like Coach Greg would say. It's 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 not the same. These people, these people are looking at Hakimi and thinking that they're gonna pull off the same thing that Hakimi did. I'm like, do you guys understand how the court system works? They're not gonna just let you. First of all, if you're an employee, you have a W-2, you're already beat. You're already beat. So most of us are already beat, including myself. I got a W-2. Like, I'm done. This is why I'm like, can't have no holes in my life, and I got to protect myself if I can. But unfortunately, I'm reckless myself, so I'm not proud of that. But I'm just being honest about what I am. I have a addiction that I need to fix, but I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how that's gonna work. It's the red pill's done. It's too much purple pillars. You know, I would recommend. You know what's crazy? Even though I've read a lot. You know what's crazy? I've read a lot of these guys' books, and one person I will recommend though, Cappy, Aaron Clary. I know he's worked with a lot of mainstream people, but he is very his message is very. I would recommend guys like Cappy. I would recommend Better Bachelor because they have a very they understand they're not selling hope. They're not selling PUA stuff. They're not they're not and also Aaron Clary, he dropped a book about I think like better economics, how to escape the like for black men specifically. And I'm like, that's a brave book to put out there. As a white dude dropping a book like that, I had to give him his propers for that. most most white men are afraid to even touch something like that. Anyway, yeah, so I would recommend Aaron Clary, right, and Better Bachelor. Coach Greg Adams might be extreme for people, not for me, but I would say like in terms of people talk about solutions, but unfortunately, most of these dudes that are coming in this space now, they cannot imagine themselves like not like in their mind, they need marriage or they need a woman's validation to they need women looking up to them to validate them as a man. And I did not realize men, a lot of men really have these kind of problems. It's flipped. Now it's the men that want the marriages more than a woman. It's flipped. It's completely flipped. And I'm not, and what I like about Cappy and Better Bachelor is they're not in the business of forcing, uh, you know, they're not in the business of telling women what they need to do. No, just these are your standards. You don't want to meet them? Fine. We can both move on with our lives without no problems. I like messages like that because men don't realize you're in the power position. And speaking of, because I'm gonna have to I have to address this. I have to address this. There is there is a like a ultra feminist woman called Cynthia G. And her philosophy, not only does it bugs me, but it's the stupidest philosophy I have seen in my life. So in her mind, her philosophy is that all black male babies should be aborted, meaning all black male babies should be killed. And she believes that, I guess, stop procreating with black men or whatever, which is I don't care what you date. But here's and they call themselves divestors. Anyway, when the divestors come on my platform and they debate me, I'm like, okay. And I always say this: say you're right. You meet your dream white guy, right? You do everything right. The white dude now, he impregnates you and it comes out a boy. Are you still you're gonna have to abort the baby according to your philosophy? They never have an answer for that. But these people have like a following. Cynthia G got like a following. And I'm like, her philosophy is fall. So now here you have a pro-black person come up to you as a white guy with the black girlfriend. Meanwhile, the white dude wants the black male baby more than the female black woman. Can't make this stuff up. We're living in cuckoo land, bro. Straight living in cuckoo land. They never have a question. I'm like, so you do know that if a white man impregnates you and it comes out a boy, it's gonna be considered a black boy. So are you gonna still abort your white husband's black son? Bruh, they never have an answer for that. They never have an answer for it. And I'm just like I said, we can't save these people. I always say that the feminism is gonna seep out anybody. Like I said, all you gotta do is bring up R. Kelly. All you gotta do is bring up Deshaun Watson. All you gotta do is bring up Bill Cosby. All you gotta do is bring up just say rape culture is a myth. Most men are afraid to say that. Most men are afraid to say that. They'll just be like, I don't know about that. All you gotta do, but if I just say that, this is where the feminists, I'm talking about men and women, even the conservatives would attack me on that point, even though my logic is undefeated. Rape culture is a myth, right? Oh, you never heard about CGA? Coach Greg Adams. I'll say this, Lorette, if you want somebody to challenge your views, watch Coach Greg Adams. I like that guy. Let's see. Let me see Jake's chat. Always making twisted turds, whatever fits in there. I tell, just if you want to bring out the feminist in anybody, just say rape culture is a myth. It's a myth, especially on college. Like I've said this before. Go on college, where does most of the accusations, the alleged crimes take place? Athletes, frat boys, and alcohol's involved. Alcohol's always involved in like 90% of these incidents. And you have to literally lock women in their room for them not to go out and go party with strange people. You have to, if you tell your girlfriend, stay in the house. I don't want you going out to those clubs where there's alcohol, niggas you don't know, blah blah blah. They're gonna call you controlling and insecure. This is how I know it's a myth. Because if you tell them what's gonna happen, they'll be like, all right, I'm not gonna go to that club. That's why I know it's a myth. That's how I know it's a myth. It's a myth. You bring out the feminists will come out. The feminists will always come out. You bring up topics like that, just bring up Bill Cosby. All you gotta say is just say this. Cause watch this. This is a debate tactic I took from a very liberal man, mind you. Nick Wright from FS1. What he'll do, he'll put something out there as bait. and they'll eat it up. He'll say something about like LeBron James, and then he lets them attack it, and then he destroys them with facts. He'll just say something. So what I do this. I'll just be like, R. Kelly did nothing wrong. he's a rapist. Do you know what he got pulled in for? Do you? And then they'll start talking about stuff in the past. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about, do you know what he got arrested for? Do you even know why they even got him in the first place? Now, to the feminist credit in the panel that I was in, she knew what he was in for, unpaid child support. To the feminist credit, I gotta give her applause for that. She knew she understands how that system works on that end, which scares me because she knows how to manipulate her words too. Anyway, he's in there for unpaid child support. They bring him in for that so they can tag on more cases on him so he can stay in the clink. And the girls that he's being tried for sex trafficking on are girls that he was with, and they were 18, 17 or 16. Now, people are, and what people don't understand, in most states, 16 is the age of consent, which, and people, I guess, have called me creepy for knowing that. And I'm like, guys, if you have a daughter that is 16 years old and she decides to run off with some stranger, you can't get, the stranger can't get arrested for kidnapping because of the consent. This is why you have to know these kind of things. But, if you say that, you're a creep, apparently. Anyway, that's all you got to say. Just say R. Kelly did nothing wrong. And you will see these people make all types of gymnastics. And it was like, well, do you think he's no, in the court of law, what did he do? What did he do? Do you think the sex trafficking charge that they put on him is fair? What's your take on the passport bros? I like I said, I feel bad for black men because black I feel bad. Like I said, it's sad that black men have to leave the country. You know, I don't really look at that as hope, even though I'm not a passport bro. And I don't even think you really need to leave the country. A lot of people, they just need to leave their state and their dating options will be better. But in terms of the passport bros, I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. I think that because it's not because of what they're doing, it's the reaction. Back in the day, you have these. Oh no, no, no. They no. They're obviously it's not genuine. Obviously the love is not genuine. But I like the reaction they're getting from from black women because they're just like, oh my God, these people, like, these are the black men that they would never give a chance or the time of day to. So they said, you know what? I'm gonna leave for another country. And then they shamed them for doing that. And I'm like, I thought you don't want these guys. But what people got to understand is nothing personal. Those were the guys that was supposed to take care of them when they're out of shape, three different baby daddies, and they need a cleanup man, a stepfather. These were supposed to be the cleanup men. Men are not trying to be cleanup men no more. Hence the passport bros. Now, obviously, there's no, I don't, genuine love, I don't care about that. Hopefully they stay safe though. But I like the response. This is a direct response of the dating market. Before R. Kelly got arrested, it was just culturally understood his sex with young women was taking place. Yeah, exactly. People only started caring until that stupid documentary, Surviving R. Kelly. They try to they're trying to make me, they're like, it's like the woman's, he's like, denounce R. Kelly. I'm like, nigga, I don't got no. This is how I know people don't really care about actual victims. I made a post about Epstein on my Instagram page. I've had so many likes on all of my memes. That one post about Epstein, and I posted on my story every other day too. You know how many likes that got? Two. Two. People don't care. People don't care because they know if you talk about Epstein, let me stop talking about it. Let me talk. Exactly. The passport bros has been around since for it's been, first of all, white people, white dudes been doing that. And first of all, girls have been going down to Jamaica, doing girls trips, doing God knows what with those Jamaican dudes, even with underage boys. And I forgot which African country they had to ban British women from going to a certain I forgot what country they banned white women. They banned British women from visiting this certain country because they've been messing with the underage boys. I forgot what country it is, but there's been passports. Women have been traveling for sex for ages too. They've been doing the same thing, which I have no problem with that either. Even though the underage stuff, I have a problem with that. But it's crazy how now I think the passport bros. I think they need to tamper it down on the volume. You know, because now they see us. Now they see niggas coming like a mile away now. You know, I because like say this. I always say this. If you want a family, right? If you're a man that genuinely wants a family, I say number one, do a surrogacy. Number two, join the passport bros. Go to one of those countries, right, where the women have no choice but to submit. I guess that's what they're looking for. Number three, just have the family in that country. Let the family stay there. Come back to the America, live your life, and then just visit your kids periodically, and have your kids visit you over the summer, and then send them back. But you know what's crazy? A lot of guys don't even like that solution. And I would say you would have a better chance of seeing your kids than here in the States. There's a lot of dudes that can't see their kids and they live in the same city, but they have all these custody orders, child support. All it's a mess. It's a mess. You know, that would be my advice. But yeah, passport bros have been around. You say before R. Kelly got arrested, it was just people knew about what everybody been know R. Kelly's a weirdo. And they're trying to make me mad about him now because they're like people don't understand. Like the reason why he's in the clink is because the people up top want his masters the same way they did Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, any first of all, any black man, black woman with a catalog, they're gonna get targeted. This is why Whitney Houston died and her daughter died. And the daughter died the same way. Coincidence? I think not. They just want her stuff because she was the next in line to get the rights of her catalog. R. Kelly has an extensive catalog, like underratedly extensive. He has written hits. Yo, watch this. This is how dumb some of these well, let me not disparage them. This is how ignorant the ladies were on the some of the ladies were on the panel. When I said R. Kelly has written for so many people, the first thing she brought up was he can't read. I'm like, bruh, Stevie Wonder is what you're accredited. Obviously, he can't read. We all know that. It's when you're writing songs, you're not writing it. You're just you're singing. She brought up him not being able to read, why he's not an accredited writer. I'm like, won writing award. He's won songwriting awards. He's had an extensive catalog producing, singing, and writing. Stevie Wonder is an accredited writer. He's blind. It's what you're accredited. I couldn't believe that. I had to. I'm like, you cannot be serious right now. You cannot be serious. Out of all of the stuff that triggered me in that panel, that probably triggered me the most. I was like, well, you're gonna tell me Ray Charles is not a writer as well? No shit. He's an accredited writer. What you sing, I almost lost my shit when I saw that. She was like, he can't write. He can't. No, he said he can't read or write. I know physically he's not. Floyd Mayweather can't read. And you know what's interesting? I hate it when people bring shit up like this. It seems like the people that have problems reading seem to be the only ones that understand how contracts really work. It seems to be the most educated girls I keep running into that can do all this reading and reading and writing. They can't even, they don't even understand how APR works, how these contracts work, how 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 you shouldn't even be signing up for 40-year mortgages. It seems like the like Coach Greg Adams, he can't read. He can barely read the super chats. But I'm looking at, I can tell he knows Floyd Mayweather is the only boxer. Mr. Del Ross is me. How are you? Hey, what's up, bro? I'm the people that keep talking about, oh, he can't read and it seems like the people that have problems reading seems to be the only people that actually know how these contracts work. Floyd Mayweather can't read a lick, but he seems to be the only one that understood. I got to get out of this contract from Bob Arum. Let me buy myself out of this contract. He seems to be the only person that knew how to free himself. But y'all, these people bring up this education stuff, like, and you guys, these people, these with their gender studies degree and their weaving in bachelors and masters in museum studies, trying to talk about people are uneducated. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. She tried to like she thought she was smart by bringing up R. Kelly can't read, so he's not a writer. these these people, man. I like I, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. What's good, Plush Time TV? I don't know if he's still in there, but like this whole reading stuff. It seems like I said, it seems like the only people that understand how contracts really work, the people that know I've seen negotiate their own deals. It seems like they seem like they can't read a lick. They seem to not be able to. They can't read. They have troubles writing. They have trouble writing. A lot of them even have trouble enunciating, but they seem to understand how this shit really works. It's interesting. It's really interesting. Oh, I did. Oh yeah, I did. I did the Nick Fuentes video. It's in my video. It's there. You got to look for it. I already did that video on Nick Fuentes. I did the video on Nick Fuentes already. I did that like what 4 weeks ago. And when I talked about Nick Fuentes, it wasn't even about just pearly things because I think black people are a little bit too they kind of went overboard on the just pearly thing. Even though what's crazy is I already talked about just pearly for like 3 4 months before, like I was talking about just pearly being a fraud. Yeah. You can watch that anytime. This is what you're gonna see in that video is my true feelings on Nick Fuentes, not just pearly. I'm not even focusing on her, on guys like Nick Fuentes and why guys like that are a black eye in the red pill space, because I don't want these feminists bringing him up, because feminists only bring up racism only so they can push their bullshit. It's not like they actually care about black people. So what's going to happen is men are going to bring up a point and then they're just going to try to use Nick Fuentes as 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 well, doesn't he agree with you? I don't want it. I don't want people doing panels with guys like with Nick Fuentes, because they're gonna always bring, because Nick Fuentes unfortunately outed himself as a guy that has black men on his mind most of the time. Because the first thing he did to diss the Italian feminist was to bring up that she has a black boyfriend. Now you're just literally giving ammo to the pro blacks. Like, out of all the things to diss her, you think that's like the number one crutch. And then now all the pro blacks gotta be like, so what's the problem with dating a black man? And the Italian feminist, I think she knew that it's like she knew what button to push on you, because she said, oh, we don't claim you. And she knew that was gonna trigger you. And she knew that Nick Fuentes was gonna use her dating a black guy. Now you're gonna make her look like the now it's because she knew that she had a problem with her dating a black dude, even though I'm like, this is why I don't like guys like Nick Fuentes, because really black men are in his mind rent free, and he doesn't even realize it. Out of all the things to diss her on, you think that's the diss. You're just you ruin our points by doing that stuff. In my opinion, that's why I don't want him around, because they're just gonna use him as a black guy. They're gonna use the reason why. I know you might not agree with this. I know Andrew Tate in his own mind is a grifter, but the reason why I didn't mind him going to the mainstream, you know why? You couldn't call him an incel, even though they did, but it just looks stupid. You can't say he can't get hoes. You can't say that he yeah, it's just like like Nick Fuentes is a distraction. So I said my piece on Nick Fuentes and I just left it alone because I don't want to waste my time on Nick Fuentes. I don't even want to waste my time on Just Pearly because I already said in December she's a chameleon. She's a feminist like all of them. Like she's a chameleon, like Melanie King, like all of the female content creators. They're all chameleons, all of them, not just her. And I'll say this. How about this? How about this here? There was a lot of black women in pre-December that called out Just Pearly things about her fake ass Me Too story, and I gotta give them props on that. I gotta give them props on that because they were right on the money. And when I saw that Me Too, original Me Too story, I'm like, I'm done with her. Just like the rest of them. Just like the rest of them. I sound like a racist now. I sound like a racist now. Just like the rest of them. But it's Nick Fuentes is a distraction, and it's somebody. That's why I didn't mind Andrew Tate rising up the ranks in prominence because he's 6'4". He's got the bad boy look. He's a playboy. He's got money. Um, um, he's a kickboxing champion. You know what I mean? He has his own tribe. He has his own thing. You can't say he's an incel. You can't say that he don't get no hoes. You can't do none of that. So you have to give what he says some thought. Even though he is a grifter. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. The grifting, let me see. What did Laura said? The grifting, the desperate power dynamics, the undercover dating among every weekend in April, but no accountability for Pearl. It's just Pearl, she's like I said, she's a feminist. When I saw that Me Too story, it was watch it on Underground Uncut's channel. And what he said, uh, I'll say this, Jake Black, Underground Uncut, give him a listen. I don't know, he might be one of those pro blacks too. I don't know. But listen, I like what he has to say. What he has to say, I like what he has, especially on the Just Pearly thing. Because when I listened to the story, I had the same reaction as he did, and it's like, here's the thing: when it comes to white women, that plausible deniability shit, they are the best at. I don't know what's going on. I'm just this innocent girl. Oh. In that story, it was full. And just Pearly, she always does that shit. She always be acting all innocent, act like, oh, I didn't know what was going. But yeah, I do want the red pill back. Hopefully, it doesn't take somebody like me because I'm a very flawed individual. Um, I have people that know me, right? Um, I don't want to put myself really out there like that. But the final straw for me was really coming to terms. You might not agree with me on this. Why I started this channel. The first Manosphere content video I put out there was about women in witchcraft. You might not agree with me on this. I'm like I said, I'm Haitian, right? I'm Haitian. Mind you, I didn't believe in this stuff. I thought it was hogwash. But the prominence that I am seeing of witchcraft growing in the in feminist community amongst women, I think witchcraft to women is like how the red pill is to men. The way it's like just kept under wraps. And these people are how common it is. I'm starting hearing about crystals and poisoning people's drinks and period blood and all that. This is now common now. What you don't even what people and I'm like, nope, this is the last straw. I gotta make a video on this. It was like one of the first videos I made. And I was trying to explain to people witchcraft isn't some spooky thing. It's science. It's just science that backwoods science, ancient science that was probably forbidden once they found out what you can do with it. When you talk about witchcraft and witches, it's nothing spooky. It's always ingredients from the earth that they can harvest that they end up mixing together to make their own herbs, to make their own healing things, to for health reasons, all this other stuff. Now they can claim now a lot of these people to determine if they're evil or not. Just look at their Instagram profile. It's always going to say, it's going to have all sorts of zodiac signs on there. And it's always going to say, I'm a goddess or something like that. Like I saw and they'll mention some kind of spirit or whatever, that spirit name. There was one profile I saw. Her name was literally Lilith, moon goddess spirit. Well, I was like, oh, this is a witch. this is, I was like, oh, hell no. These people are insane. And these people now, like I said, women now have is that witchcraft is historical. And watch this. Witchcraft is also associated with 304s. When we start thinking about being burned at the witches being burned at the stake, people think it was just on just suspicion. I think now that I look back, it was probably just 304s acting wild. And then they was like, we got to put a stop to this. That's what I'm starting to now seeing how things go. Now I know it was more than just witchcraft. It was it was more about 304s going. When you look at what happened to Emmett Till, when you look at that story, they don't say the whole story. Obviously, the woman did a false accusation. With that, first of all, number one, you don't go. They're leaving out the part that they smashed. They smashed. And then she told her husband and the brother something else when things didn't go her way. Now, if they writ the story like that, that doesn't just put white women under a bad racist white woman under a bad name. That puts all women, because we done all heard that story before. They smash, or it's either that or number two, she found him attracted. She found him attractive. He rejected her. She went and cried foul. Now that's not just a racist white woman thing. That's something where you can put that. That doesn't start off no civil rights movement because the husbands, you don't go to a man's house, drag a little boy's house that's 15. You don't drag a boy out of the house, destroy his face over a whistling accusation. She told those boys, she told her husband and the brother something completely different than that. She must have told him that he raped me and blah 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 this and 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 he took advantage of me. You don't do that over a whistle. She told them something crazy, and that's not just a racist white woman thing. That's an all woman thing. Okay, I'm sounding like my uncle. I'm starting preaching now. They need to expand on that Emmett Till story. They need to expand on that because we have a whole lot of Caroline Bryant still running around here. Caroline Bryant isn't some special a false accusation. Exactly, Rosewood. Remember? Yeah, Rosewood. Exactly. Remember, Rosewood, perfect example. It was a ninja, ninja, ninja. I can't say the I'm not gonna say the word on here, even though I already did. She said it was a ninja, ninja, ninja. Story of all story to the test of time. She gets ragdolled by the person she's having an affair with, and she just blames it on a random black man. Tale is so old as time. There's a reason why the civil rights movement didn't start off that. Not playing, because that what I don't know what Rosewood was that a true story? Was that based on a true story? I don't know, but I remember I watched that movie. Wow, but there's a you can't sell the civil rights movement if you tell the full story about Emmett Till, because really, what that does, it puts all it can technically, if you tell this whole story about Emmett Till, you can actually solve a lot of the racism if you think about it. You tell the whole story about Emmett Till, white men will start looking at their white women like, hmm, that's a whole nother perspective people are not ready for. If I talk about this and I can't talk to this stuff about with the normies, I'm a, hey man, you can't talk to the normies about stuff like this. People need to tell the full story about Emmett Till because that's something all men, all of all races can relate to that. Oh, Rosewood, true story in Florida. You think if that was a true story, there's a reason why the civil rights movement couldn't start off that because it was just her being frantic and blaming the man for all her problems. The first and the lowest man that she could find, the easiest target that she could find. Let me not say lowest man, the easiest target that she could find, which was a black man, using the the insecurity of, oh, I don't want black men around my wife against the man. When you look at there's a video with because I don't like it when women do stuff like this. It's like there's a video with Ronald Reagan's wife, right? And Mr. T was Santa Claus, and he came to visit the White House, and she purposely sat on his lap and kissed him on the cheek. Now, why do you think she did that? Because she knows that her husband hates black guys, so she did that to 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 stir up her husband. Now, the problem is when women do stuff like that, they do that for just because they know it, they got the power to do that, not understanding the collateral damage that does when you have a president of the United States that hates niggas, right? And now you do that in front of him, bruh. It just shows you how I mean how much how selfish can you be to do that, knowing you're not going to be affected, but another black man's going to get affected by you doing that stupid shit just to stir up your husband. Like it's be a little. Hopefully, I didn't miss nothing. Yeah, true story in Florida, man. But yeah, man. Hopefully, I'm not holding up anybody though. Hopefully, I'm not holding up anybody. But I could talk about this because stuff like this get on my nerves. But yeah, the panel I talked with, let me tell you something before. No, it's not. They lack empathy. Let me correct you there. They lack empathy. Sympathy, em- dude, when you talk about empathy, empathy is something where you've experienced it yourself, where you've actually been in somebody's shoes. Anybody can show sympathy. What they lack is empathy. I believe most women are lack empathy. Anybody can show sympathy because sympathy is just I feel bad. And I think watch this. Women be feeling bad. No, 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 you're good. Women feel bad, but about themselves. No, no, you're good. What they lack is empathy. Empathy. Make empathy something that men do not get the credit that they don't get. Empathy. Empathy is knowing. You know what's crazy? Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. As a former athlete myself, in high school and college, empathy is understanding why male athletes cheat. I'm talking about sports enhancement drugs. Empathy is understanding. Empathy is knowing. Empathy is knowing why. Empathy is understanding now why men do the cold hearted stuff that they do. Empathy is understanding this is a this empathy is understanding why men can never really be with one woman. Empathy is understanding is you not automatically bashing on a man just over a accusation because you understand that an accusation could just it's just an accusation is just enough to ruin a man's career. Most women they lack empathy because they don't need to. Men still love them regardless. Men still want American men still want to marry American women here, despite the laws, despite understanding that, despite understanding that if they get divorced, they're gonna lose everything, whether she makes money or not. What you start to understand is men here, women are not men are in love, women are in business. That's how CGA kind of coins it. Men are in love, women are in business. Hence why they always want a man to make more than them. What incentive is there for a woman to take care of a man? No incentive. First of all, biology wise, it's you're going against biology. And on top of that, he divorces, he's gonna take half her stuff. They know women know how the courts work. And here's another thing. Here's another thing. I don't care if girls don't know how many countries there are. There's this thing on like that keeps going viral. Like it's like girls on Fresh and Fit. They don't know where countries are. They don't know how many states there are. I don't care if they don't know that. Once women enter that court system, they turn into Esquire. They turn smart. They know if they don't know how to finesse you out of the money, they have a homegirl that knows how to do that. They have an aunt, they have a mom, or they have somebody they know that could walk them to the walk them through the finessing process. Most of the girls I know, they most of the girls they most of the, I knew one girl she thought Boston was a state, but I know she finessing this old dude out of some money right now that I know. Straight finessing. That's their they know how to do that. They know how to do that. They don't even know what the capital of Connecticut is. They couldn't tell you. They couldn't tell you. Like they can't even tell you what the three branches of government are. They can't even do that. They can't. And watch this. Watch this. They all got degrees. All of them, they all got bachelors. They all got their masters. They can't name as to if you ask the so-called pro-blacks, name three African countries and keep naming three African countries consecutive. Oh yeah. Man, Lorette, let me tell you something. Don't fall for, especially these new red pill men coming in, do not fall for it. All men are a, I'm not gonna say all, most men are a blowjob away. Just a blowjob away. Most men are a blowjob away from literally, when you see those videos of those Kevin Samuels videos of those girls saying, "Oh yeah, these three guys proposed to me," they're not lying. They're not lying about that. I gotta get a girl I know on here, and I'm gonna get her to expose. I'm gonna blur her name out, and I'm gonna ask, "Let me see the DMs." I know a girl personally, right? She she was a IG model ish, but she ended up deleting her photos because of stalkers and whatnot. It's a whole nother story. I saw her DMs. Because I was just curious. This is a woman I was seeing, if you know what I mean. I'm not gonna go into this, but I was seeing for a little bit. Women with degrees, men, okay. It's a bonus. Having a degree is a bonus. But I'm gonna come back to that point. But I was gonna say you'll be surprised. She only had like 1,000 followers. The the amount of blue checks in her DMs, you'd be surprised. You'd be so surprised. Even the average girl. Anyway, so we'll go back to your point with the degree stuff, but that's not, a man will literally give risk it all for a girl that he met at Subway that makes sandwiches. It's not that they won't date women with degrees. It's just not an attraction. It's not an attraction like factor whether you have a degree or not. It's like, hey, Joanne Rivers had this cold ass quote. I don't know if there's a red pill for women really, but if there was a black pill quote for women, she said it. Joanne Rivers said the coldest shit. She said, when men are when men are filling up a woman's skirt, they're not looking for a degree." That is one of the coldest quotes I've ever heard in my life. That is a black pill quote for women. If there was ever a black pill for women, that's right there. That's not even a red pill. That is a black pill. I don't know if you know about the black pill community. That's a whole nother topic. If that was a black pill quote, that Joanne Rivers, Howard degrees a bone. It's not an attraction figure. Men don't get boners from a woman showing a degree. It's that simple. Let's see the other. Where do you see the manosphere going? It's gonna get shut down with social credit scores. Social credit score is already a thing in other countries. So what's gonna happen is they're gonna start pages like these are gonna start getting taken down. So I think this is why Under Chronic was very big on people trying to use manosphere content as their primary source of income. I see why he feels that way. I was like, maybe, yeah, I didn't know how to feel about that. I understand that now because you can't be. Thank you, Joanne Rivers. I'm not saying if you want a degree, you can do whatever you want. Just understand that's not an attraction. Like, you know what I'm saying? By the way, me personally, when it comes to this degree thing, it seems like most of the, you know what's interesting to me? When I talk about red flags in women, I always say two of my top two red flags in women are if you smoke weed and if you were in college. And meaning, if you were in college, you stayed on campus and you got one of them bullshit liberal arts degree. Those are my two red flags because most men are always worried about body count, this and that, pair bonding, masculine traits, divorce rates. When you look at the divorce rates, it's like 90% of, it's like women initiate 90% of divorces that are college educated. Says it all right there. Says it all. Hypergamy on hyperdrive, you know? Now, back to the manosphere thing, like the social credit score coming, they're going to have it set up where basically, if you drive an electric vehicle, they're going to have it set up to all your Facebook accounts and all that stuff. And if they don't like what you're saying, they're going to shut down your car or they're going to shut down your credit card. They're going to shut down your main source of income. With that whole pandemic thing going on, that was an experiment. That's what people don't understand. That whole poke thing with those passes, that was an experiment to see if people would fall for it. And most oxygen thieves fell for that. And people trying to act like that didn't even happen. Hey, yo, man. People trying to act like that didn't even happen. And I remember people getting in full blown arguments over this pass thing where everybody, and you know what's beautiful about that? That wasn't even about feminism. That wasn't, women taught me how to finesse that system with the fake passes. A woman gave me that idea. At the end of the day, it's the, like I said, I think okay. Here's another. I think people take what women say too seriously when it comes to topics like this. When I went on the panel, I knew what I was going to get from them. I knew what I was going to get from them. But I just wanted, because the reason why I joined the panel, because the girl that created it was getting roasted by the women in the comment section because most of the women were actually flaming her for still defending Jovi. I don't got to worry about the women. It's the men simps, the male simps that have allowed this to go too far. And I'm going to be critiquing these male conservatives if they stick up for Riley Gaines. These dudes are talking about I'm gonna start beating up people for her and whatnot. These guys, man, these people are. I, like I said, most of these male conservatives that people look up to are simps, straight simps. They think that they're like righteous people, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Jesse Lee Peterson fan," and then I'll be like, "Oh, let me challenge that. Do you think women should vote?" They start shuffling. Or I'll just bring up, like I said, just bring up R. Kelly. They start shuffling. Like, even, and here's my problem with the white male conservatives. I grew up an Allen Iverson fan, Terrell Owens fan, Mario Balotelli fan. These people didn't get destroyed by women. They got destroyed by men, hating mass men. They didn't get destroyed by women. Terrell, let me tell you something. Terrell Owens got destroyed by the mainstream media because he was going out with the baddest white bitches. Women love T.O. The women love T.O. It's the men that, because they're simps. Allen Iverson, he came in with his own style. I don't know how the media had convinced people to hate Allen Iverson when he was one of the realest athletes we've had. They like the media will convince these dudes to hate on a man. That's one of the realest people you're gonna meet. The media has convinced the sports media will convince people that Westbrook is a bad guy, Kyrie Irving is a bad guy, Isaiah Thomas from the '80s from the Detroit Pistons is a bad guy. Me personally, I don't know how they how and you wonder why the ladies are such sheep. Guys, people fall for anything. The woman in the comment section, right, for the Jovi Pena case, she literally said, I initially was on her side until I saw the video. And I said the exact same thing, and the black women in the panel were roasting me for saying the exact same thing. I'm like, girl, you got roasted. You know, that like I said, like most Lorette, I don't know if you're still watching. All you gotta do is that I don't know if you're looking for a man or whatever. You can find a man. There are still the men here are the men that the ladies from the 50s have been praying for. And the women do not even realize it. These men that are here now are literally the men that that the women from the 50s that were getting treated like shit and whatnot that they were praying for. They don't even realize these men are still willing to die for these people. And I'm just like, hey, I commend you. I commend you. Because I always say this, because I know, especially now, I know how most women look at me, and not just me. I'm talking about the average man. Oh yeah, Lord. You can still, I don't know, are you single? Are you trying to find a husband? You can find a husband. You can find a husband. Now, I don't know if you're only dating primarily black men or you okay, do you date primarily black men, white men? Because if you're limiting yourself to like one race, you're gonna have trouble doing that. Especially especially dating a black man because the numbers are not good for you. Because even if we paired up every single black man with a black woman, there would still be like 6 million black women left over. I'm just, hey, I'm just letting you know. The numbers do not look good if you care about like cheating and all that. The numbers do not look good for you. Now, especially when you take into account most women are looking for something like I said, the numbers. I think you need to look up the stats of how many black men there are compared to how many black women there are. And with the and here's the thing, you know who your biggest enemies are on that? Other black women, because they're aborting so many black they're aborting so many black boys. Oh, okay. So so you'll be fine. If you're expanding your search on black, white, or Latino or Asian, you can find a dude. You can find a dude. That's not that's not there are plenty of dudes you can find at the gun range, the cigar bars, what's it, cigar lounges, church, the mosque, the Muslim. You can join the Nation of Islam. You can find a husband. What? What? You can if wait. How old are you though? How old are you? That's the important part. That's another important part. And if you already have it, and if you have kids, that's very important. Do you have kids, and how old are you? I gotta find that out. You'd still be able to find a dude, but I gotta know that. That's very important. But you can still, in my opinion, you could like there's still plenty of dudes that are willing to die for you. Now, if you're thinking that you're gonna get some boss that's already messing with so many other women, my ability to find looking lackluster, well, you like I said, you gotta go out. And like I said, I gotta find out your age. I gotta find out your age. Because the older you get, the harder it's gonna be. And especially if you have kids. No kids, I'm old. Okay. So it does help that you have no kids. But how old are you like if you're still in your 30s, you'll be fine. You can find somebody. You can find I know these red pill people talk about oh, if you're over 30, you can still find somebody even if you're in your 30s. Now, if you I'll say this. If you are in your 40s, you have to be willing to accept a man with kids. You have to. You have to. That's what I will say. And that's where you have to start making exceptions because now all your bargaining chips are gone from there. You're gonna have to start making exceptions. Now, if you're looking like if a dude, hopefully the dude that you're looking for only has like one baby mother. Oh, you in your 40s. So yeah, you're gonna have to what happened now you got to start making exceptions now in terms of you have to most likely, well not most likely, it is a possibility now that you're gonna find a dude. Guys are dying now. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Dude, Lorette, you can still find a good dude out here that actually makes decent money. All you have to do I'll start to sound like them people. All you have to do is find like all you have to do is humble yourself and try to minimize the speaking. You should be able to find somebody. You should be able because so if you really are expanding now, and then on top of that, you got to make sure, especially if you're dating, especially if you're dating white dudes, you can't be severely obese. So you got to make sure you're in some kind of decent shape. If like I believe as a woman, if you're in decent enough shape and you have no kids, if you even if you are in your 40s, you should be able to find somebody. You should be, and if not, you probably should think about your dating area, where you're looking for. If you're only staying in one city or if you're staying in one state, yeah, if you're only staying in one city or one state, you're limiting your options. Or, you know, I always say look for I don't like dating apps though. I don't like dating apps, but there's got to be somebody, especially dudes is thirsty out there. Yeah, Lorette, there's got to be somebody. Don't like don't tell me you couldn't find nobody. There ain't nobody in your friend zone. Nothing. I don't care if he's goofy looking. There's somebody. These niggas is starving out here. I'm telling you that right now. Jake Black is right there. These niggas is starving out here. Even the young dudes, starving, starving. You can find a guy in your that okay, you're in your 40s. You can still find a guy in your 30s or 40s. You can find somebody. you might now you might have to if you're now if you're dating in one city, of course you're not going to find nobody. If you're just yeah, if you're yeah, because guys just want to hit. That's why the dating apps don't work. So you can like you have to expand. You're gonna have to see what it's like out there in other cities, other small towns. And what do you, oh, so you had but you had opportunities though. So you had opportunities. So if you had I could tell you had opportunities. I hope you didn't wait until it was too late. And this is what you try to even though I don't think it's too late for you, there's somebody out there. I think that I think you have I think you there is somebody there. It's just you're like, nah, I don't want to give this dude a chance. Look, I don't care if he is a janitor. Get that dude. You're gonna dude, by 2030, there's gonna be no more good men left. I'm letting you know right there. Get that janitor or the garbage truck driver. I don't care. Get the janitor, the garbage truck driver, the police officer. Oh no, not a police officer, not a police officer. Forget I said police officer. Well, back in the day, not now. Look, you can still find somebody. You can still find somebody. There's too many. Like even porn stars are finding marriages. 5'3" Indian janitor. Hey, I don't care. Lorette, you got to do that. That's what you got to do. He has a stable job. He's always going to have a job because you've had your shot. You've had your shot. And unfortunately, you know, what women do to each other, they sabotage each other. They always tell them, "Oh, you have time." And women only get better with age, but the options in terms of guys taking you seriously, there's always going to be guys that want to smash. Yeah, no cops. Yeah, yeah. Forget I said that. I don't know why I even said that. That cops is. I would never. I would never recommend anybody date a cop. Never. Now, Lorette, if you have a good job, you're gonna have to take care of somebody. You're gonna have to take care. You might have to take care of somebody. Even though I wouldn't recommend an unemployed dude to marry to, but there's got to be somebody. If you, especially if you're willing to date black, white, Asian, Latino, there's somebody. You can't find nobody. That means you gotta look in a different city. You gotta look in a different city. You gotta look in a different town. What activities do you usually do? Are you part of a softball team? Dude, by the time this stuff starts spreading, this manosphere content starts spreading, give me a scenario and let me experiment. No, because what happens is when women are in their 20s, they keep telling each other to be hoes while they're backstabbing each other. This is what women will do in their 20s. They will act like they will tell men to stop slut shaming while they slut shame their best friend behind their back to the high value guy that they're trying to get or to the guy with some good money they're trying to get. And then will go back to their friends and act like they didn't do nothing. Meanwhile, she done told your whole business. these these girls, let me tell you, there's no such thing as a sisterhood. Girls will leave their best friends with athletes that they don't know and just leave them there. And just leave them. And then if something happens, they can play victim and then act like the athletes were the bad people for taking advantage when you literally left them in the lion's den with the lions. That's what women do to each other. they they lie. They lie to each other. The reason why is because they're all in competition to get a man. They're all in competition to get the man with the most status. So they lie to each other. The whole body positivity thing. They they they're always clapping at the woman being fat because it's one less woman they have to worry about. they don't ever clap. They don't ever clap for the baddest girl in the room, if you know what I mean. The head stopper. She has no friends because if she comes around, the rest of the ladies have no shot. So you gotta look, especially I don't know how you say you're in your 40s and you have no kids and you say you couldn't find nobody. Nah, I don't believe that. You overlooked somebody. you overlooked somebody. Because no matter how it seems like no matter how there's always some dude that thinks the world there's some dude that thinks the world of you that was willing to give you everything, especially in your 20s. Especially when you were in 20s, there was a dude that was willing to give you everything. That's when you're supposed that's when women are supposed that's why white women are very smart at this. They get like they go in their 20s, they're like, all right, I gotta get a man right in the 20s age while I'm in college, he's in college, or what white women used to do in the 90s, there'd be a hoe in college, and then right when they were done in college, they'll look for a husband. They get one right just like that. Just like that. Even though they were hoe. The problem is now the women now lie to each other and they say, oh, know your worth. Don't do this. And they don't follow none of that. This is why black feminists kill me. Black feminists, they kill me, man. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And what the stuff I've seen women do to each other, like I would literally in high school, I would literally will talk to a girl in the hallway. And mind you, I'm not a looker, but I'm talking to a girl in high school. Another girl says hi to me. She gets possessive. Mind you, she don't think nothing of me like that. But it's and she starts talking shit about the other woman. And that's supposed to be her friend. She said the friend said hi to me first because I knew her from class. It's just, this is why I don't really take I don't take what women say seriously when it comes to stuff like that because they'll just say it and I'm like, do you really mean that? And then they'll just contradict themselves. When I was in the panel, when I was in the panel, I told you earlier, I mentioned my height and my weight on purpose. I said, oh, I'm 5'7", 150 pounds. And they was roasting me, like ripping me. And I did that on purpose because then a minute later, she's saying, why aren't you doing anything about the predators? I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Now you want me to protect you after saying all this? I'm like, dude, and I didn't even mention that. I just let it. I was just like, they don't get it, do they? They don't get it. You can't demean your protectors, your potential protectors. This is why you gotta. There are monsters out there that is gonna take a monster like me to put my life on the line. And they was saying, "Oh yeah, they were going to work." They said, I gotta play in traffic and die. I hope I do this. I hope I die. I hope my life is shit." I'm like, and me, I don't wish them, I don't wish them harm, especially black women. I don't. I want all the black women in my life to win because it. It was black women that believed in me first. I don't know what these new um I don't know why they're saying this feminist rhetoric. Exactly. they 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 want me to do something about the predators. I'm like, what the hell? First of all, I told him, what the hell am I supposed to do? Do you denounce? Nigga, I can't denounce none. I can't tell, like I said earlier, I can't tell you, stay away from the 6'8" NBA prospect. I heard he's a predator. You know what the girls are gonna do? They're like, okay, maybe I won't hang out with him, but maybe his friend's not that bad. They think by hanging out with the point guard, they think they'll avoid the BS. It's that's how they think. That's how they think. Let me go for the 6'3" point guard instead. Not like I'm like, that's his friend. Okay, I'll just go out. That's how they work. That's how they work. So that's why it's like it's wasted breath. Like I used to be a guy like in high school. This is where it's crazy because even in high school, I wasn't looking for a girlfriend, but I was always willing. Say if a woman said something happened to her, I would take her seriously. I'd be like, "Oh man, that's terrible." Now I couldn't do anything about it, but I always felt bad that I couldn't. But now as I grow older, I'm like, there's nothing I could have done anyway. When I had a job, um, working somewhere, this is one of my other red pill moments that I had in my life. Um, I it was a girl trying to send me off on this guy saying he did this to me. And the natural inquisitor that I am, I don't know if I'm using that word properly. I said, okay. I end up seeing this guy and I never went at him aggressively. I just asked questions. And once I got his side of the story, I realized, okay, he's a goofball, but she's a goofball machine. They're both goofballs. They're made for each other. He's not some dangerous dude. He just got mad because you were on bullshit and he raised his voice. And then I show my side of the story, and the woman acted mad for me. Just even, I'm like, I asked him the same questions that I just want to see. And then she called me nosy, even though she brought the. You can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. Can't make this shit up. That's why I tell dudes, do not be afraid to ask, what did she do? What did you do? Don't ever be afraid to ask a girl that. That's why I've started losing. That's why I don't have a whole lot of female friends anymore. And by you don't men don't really need female friends. A lot of these people are sucking up your energy. You know what I mean? And it's always this is and on top of that, when they talk about, oh, I need this guy 6 feet tall and whatnot, be you gotta be careful. Like I always tell guys, be careful of that. If you are a 6'2" person, if you are one of the warriors out there, be careful because they won't question the girl. Because I've seen guys, and I'm like, you didn't question what she said, like there's a lot of holes in this story. Did you get his side? It's like I'm an evil guy for even asking that. And I say, God, you have to preserve your life first, not her. She don't even know. She's using you. Remember what happened to the kid in Brooklyn, Junior, the pretty light, the pretty light skinned dude that all the girls were crying over that died. He got set up from a girl that he knew. A girl got a train ran on her. She actually liked one of the dudes, right? But the boy, somebody videotaped it. The girl's brother found out about the videotape and he was out for blood. Now, because she liked one of the dudes in the train, she said that was Junior. She ended up using her friend and said, no, that was him, and set up a dude that wasn't even a part of that train to get him killed by the brothers. Now, they did not put that in the mainstream. You can only find that on YouTube. That is a red pill ass story right there. Now, that is a red pill right there. She fancied the drug dealers that she was getting a train ran on her, and she didn't want to get her drug dealer crush killed because there was a video out on her, and because her brother was a simp, he needed a name. Exactly. Yes. Yes. The one that got killed in the bodega, and like his face was everywhere. And I know why his face was everywhere. They're like, why did this pretty light skinned dude got killed? That's what that was. I know people don't like to say that. And I might come across as a hater by mentioning that, but he was unjustly killed because he got set up by his female friend. She told him, meet me up there, and she was setting him up to get jumped and stabbed by her brother, just so she can save her knucklehead boyfriend or dude that was messing with her. She should be charged with accessory, but she didn't get nothing. She didn't get anything. She didn't get anything. That's one of the saddest stories I've ever seen. One of the saddest stories, man. This is why man. Yeah, the young Latino brother. Yep, yep, yep. I think his name was Junior. And when I found out about the real story about that, I was like, oh, they didn't put that in the media. They don't ever put shit like that in the media. Look, man, you can't trust men, you can't trust women, right? Now, for some reason, when women do stuff like this, if you bring it up, people say you're woman hating or something. I don't get that. I don't I don't get that. You know, that's not I'm sorry, that's not how I roll. Like, seeing stuff like this is why I'm more harder. When I especially when it talks about stuff, you gotta cut out the BS because it's just too many. You'll bring up a story like that and women will act like you're wrong. Women will act like you're wrong for saying that there's 15-year-old hoes out there that mess with older men and thinking they're winning in life. Like these girls will be like 14 years old, 15 years old, mess with older dudes, come back to school bragging to us like they're winning. And we're just like, and we'll just be at school, just be like, then they're gonna act like they're victims later. And it's not, and they know they can just pull it. These girls will be like 17, right? By the way, if you work at a retail job and you see a 17-year-old girl already working, and when they told you it was only supposed to be 18 and up, and you see a 17-year-old girl working over there, she's fucking one of the managers or one of the supervisors. I don't care how older. The supervisor could be 3 years older. The supervisor could be 10 or 20 years older than her. She's fucking one of those guys. Or one of those guys want to fuck her, and she knows that, and she has no problem playing into it. Mm, mm. No, I'm playing. I'm playing on that. Yeah. But that's true. Those are facts. Those are facts. And just, and talking about that can be quite frustrating. I deleted the screen recording too of the argument of the panel. I'm gonna join another. I usually That was the first time ever joining a panel of feminists. And what's crazy is I said nothing bad to them. I was ripping on the male simps. Those are cold blooded facts.